Hey guys, Erpel here with a quick tip on how to help your 808s translate better in dense mixes and also across multiple sound systems. So what I have here is a 808 layer where I've pulled in an 808 that I like, and a top kick layer, which is sort of a kick where I like the crunchy part of that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you will want to set the root key of the 808 to a low G, as 808s are in at G. And the top kick, you're going to want to set the scale to 0%. So even if I have a pattern where I'm changing notes around, the top kick is just it's always gonna be that same top crunch. Otherwise, it'll sound really funny as the top kick layer gets pitched around a lot. And so at the end of this top kick chain here in this instrument rack, that's what this is, instrument rack with two chains, two samplers. In the top kick, I am cutting out all the lows with a high pass filter, also called a low cut filter. And I'm around 120 hertz. I kind of like to let still some of this upper bass range through. I think it helps to make the top kick sound more cohesive with the bottom kick. And I'm just kind of giving a little bit of a boost here and kind of a punchy part of the top kick that I liked. So that's that for that. And then over here, I have an audio effect track. And so one is just dry. It just takes this combination of these two and it passes it through. And then there's a saturated layer, and what that does is first I have a low pass filter that only lets everything below 80 hertz through. And then that hits a saturator where I'm just kind of cranking up a tape saturator here in FabFilter Saturn. And what that's going to do is it's going to send only the low end, which is going to be really only the low end from the 808 since I've already filtered the low end out of the top kick. So it's going to be the 808's low end is going to hit the saturator. It's going to create harmonics from that low end. And then I'm filtering the low end back out by setting another high pass filter or another filter. This one is a high pass filter at the same cutoff as the low pass filter. So it kind of cuts out that original signal. So now I only have the generated harmonics that I created. And then one thing I'm doing after that is I'm just adding on an isotope ozone imager, turning all the unnecessary bands off. I only need one band on for this. And turning on stereoize and kind of cranking it up a little bit. If you go too far, it starts to sound really weird and phasey, so be careful with this. But that just sort of spreads the mid-range saturated layer a little bit, just to help the kick sound a bit more full and really kind of cut through a dense mix. So we can kind of hear what that sounds like. And as you have a really dense mix, one thing that you'll probably need to play with is how loud the top kick is, and also how loud this saturated layer is. You'll find that in a very dense section of a mix, what sounds good when the mix is playing might be a lot more saturation and a lot more top kick than what would sound good when you're just soloing the kick. So definitely play around with that, and I hope that helps.